I don't hear
Oh,
it.
good. Okay. Can you hear it, Queen?
No, I can't hear it. You
Okay.
probably hear
I'm
me.
ready.
That's why I said, honey, I'm cold and hot. I got the heat on right now over here on me.
That's
I'm ready.
funny. Oh, she got that wine. She gonna be all right in a minute.
Well, I
It
don't
might make
drink,
me
but I
holler.
do have my water.
Yeah, I got
I
I
just,
got my water too.
okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah, I mean we live now. I'm just waiting on somebody to get on here. The first person,
Okay.
some of the first person get on here, we'll get started.
Let me open up my screen so we can see. Anybody else joining in with us?
Uh I know of, but by the time we talk about what you want to talk about, I'm sure I'm sure some
Did
more
you put
people
the
gonna want to
topic on
join in.
Facebook?
No, I couldn't remember. I like Sharon asked me. I just told her it was something about orgasm or something. I don't. I don't
Nobody
know.
said it about no damn orgasm.
What you said? What you said?
That's what he
What you
told
said
me.
you wanted to talk
He
about?
said, yes, Serena. He told me,
I
he said,
said,
yes, she's going to be talking about orgasm. I said, well, I guess we'll
you
be talking
don't.
about orgasm.
That's how you gonna put me out there like that, Black.
No, I'm saying that was her. She on the show. I thought that's what you said for real.
That's not what I said. I said let's talk about having conversation with your partner about intimacy and getting the sex, or the sex that you want. Okay.
Okay, well, hopefully that
Well,
includes
I guess
orgasm. But
that's
hold
the
on,
same thing,
All
Serena.
of
yeah,
them trying
well,
together, right?
hold on,
Serena,
before
that's
y'all
the
cuss me
same
out.
thing. That's the same
Before
thing
y'all,
because getting the sex you want create
I'm
orgasm.
saying, before y'all cuss me out, let me welcome everybody back to the Papa Black Podcast. And today we having Hot Flashes Wednesday. We having Hot Flashes Wednesday. Hey man, with Miss
Okay.
Queen and Miss Serina. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm always good. If I can breathe, I can handle everything else.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for having us back on your platform. Appreciate it.
No, I told
Yes.
we're gonna make this a regular thing. I had great
Don't
conversations
do
with
the
y'all.
same.
So we're gonna talk about these hot flashes first.
No, we're not gonna start talking about the hot
Okay.
flash.
I thought you want to talk about them hot flashes. Y'all,
That
y'all,
comes with
y'all have them.
women. Yeah, but you ain't gotta tell everybody our business either right now.
I said y'all have them. I didn't say y'all was having one.
Oh, I'm
Now
telling my
you
business.
telling on
You
you,
all people
yeah,
think I'm fan,
you
huh?
telling on yourself.
Sorry.
They
But
say a
I'm
hit dog will holler.
hey
Yeah,
every
I
time,
hollered. I did holler.
every time. But it's something that y'all have to go through. I'm sure it's other women that's going through it too. So
Yeah, yeah.
what 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 is a hot flash? Because I'm a man. We don't have them.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't studied the science behind it. I just know for some reason out of nowhere you just start to get hot. It's like night sweats. You
Uh-huh.
get mad because you're hot. You're in the middle of something. You got to pause because you're like, hey, hold on, give me a minute. I'm hot. Let me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So it's more
Yeah.
hormonal. It's like the changes that women go through. Because
yeah, we
first
started
we,
go to.
we start with more like the hormonal changes as you start to develop, body parts, and then your menstrual. Then at some point, it leads to your menstrual stopping, and
Okay.
that's when it goes
Yeah,
Okay.
into
yeah,
the whole menopause part of the hot flashes and things like
Right.
that. Because you're about to go through another cycle of change with your
right,
body.
right.
So,
When
and
you,
that's why they call it hot flashes because it could be cold, like everybody, it could be literally cold outside and you stand outside and you internally would feel hot, like
burning
the
up.
sun is on you and you'll start sweating. So it's
It's like
kind of
you
like
somebody
an internal
stuck in
feeling.
the oven. Yeah.
Yes.
Like an
Mm-hmm.
When
oven. It be that hot.
yeah, you wake up in the middle of the night, your whole everything is sweaty and the sheet
Wet.
is just for
Yes.
no reason. And you got the
Yes.
ceiling fan on, the AC, everything, no matter
Yes.
what time of year it is.
So what
Yes.
what what age that usually start?
Everybody different because I heard some women starting as early as the early 40s, going into the
Mm-hmm.
late 40s, and some
Mm-hmm.
even the late 50s. And I think it just depends on the woman, and I think it has a lot to do with what age did your cycle start too.
Yeah.
So all of that
Oh, I
plays
didn't
a
know that.
role.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
all of
that.
that. Yeah, all that plays a role in, when you go through. So to me, I don't think there's a set age, because I don't have friends that start menopause and actually went to the doctor, got diagnosed like in their early 40s. And then like me, I'm the later end. So I almost heard some going into late 40s, early 50s, or either like late 50s. So I think it just depends on the woman and their body.
Yeah.
I don't
How
think
long it
there's
lasts?
It could be
I don't
years.
know. It could be years. Yeah.
I know people said
Yeah,
3
nah.
years, 4 years.
Yeah.
So I can't date no 40-year-old then, huh?
Well, no, that don't mean that now.
You can't stop dating.
do.
Let me say this, Black. You can date whoever you want, because whoever you date and you really like them, you're willing to go through those changes with them.
Nah,
With
but
her.
around 38, 39, I might break up with her and catch back up with her later on or something.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Black.
You gonna come back 4 years later. He gonna want you 4 years later.
Yeah, she'll still want me.
No, she
I
wants
leave,
you.
I
You
leave
want
my
with me
mark.
when I was in the. You want with her when she was in the trenches, going to the
She'll
high
forgive
flash.
me.
Exactly.
Right.
No, I'm
You
saying,
gotta
I mean, I'm just gonna take a vacation.
Let's see how that works.
I might.
Yeah.
Well, I might be like, I might go to jail then or something for them 4 years or
Don't
something.
put that on you. Don't put that
No,
on you.
We ain't putting that on you, Black. You not gotta go to jail.
I'm just.
But the jail gonna be this talk show that's about to blow up.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
there
just
you go.
talking. Believe me,
Yeah.
he know I'm just talking. He know I don't want to go down no more. I don't have my days. I don't.
Yes.
Ain't nobody got commissary money.
Oh no. No, my daddy got mad when I was in there because I told him he had to send me no money. I started selling cigarettes in there.
So you found a hustle.
Yeah, man. Like the cigarettes at the time, they were $1.50. I was making $20 off a pack of cigarettes. I'm selling cigarettes for $2 a cigarette.
Did you make were you making the jailhouse burritos too?
Oh no. I didn't eat none of that food. Like I gained weight in jail from eating honey buns and noodles and all the junk food.
All the starch.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother subject right there.
Well, Gucci Man lost weight. He went to jail and lost weight. It came out a whole different person.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Wow.
God.
Like people ask me, how did I gain weight in jail? Like, how you gain weight in jail, nigga? I said, Pip, I didn't eat none of that bullshit. Like, nigga, I survived on snacks. When them old players told me, they were like,
them honey buns put that weight on you.
Yeah. Them old players, they were like, hey, big man.
Oh, yeah.
Big man, you don't smoke? I was like, nah. They were like, hey, man, I tell you what. We go to the store on Wednesday. By Friday, them white boys will be out of cigarettes. I'm telling you, just save yours to Friday, and you'll make a killing. Shout out, I will make it $20 off a pack of cigarettes.
Well, I'm not even asking how long you was there, because how you was there long enough to sell a few cars.
No, man, I just take a little short stint. I don't do no real time, shout out. I'm too smart for that. I wasn't there. I was there 99 days down in Pike County.
Oh, yeah. Top County.
You know that Pike.
That's the
down in Pike County. Yeah, they sent me down to Pike County. They got me out around here. But I was cool with it though. I had to catch myself because I actually had fun in jail. I was like, hold on, wait a minute, I'm supposed to like this. But I can adapt to anything. Like I'm not gonna let nowhere run me crazy. So, but I didn't have enough fun that I wanted to go back. But
jail is a whole different. That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we ain't gonna. Y'all done got drowned. Like, oh, that's a whole nother. No, we ain't gonna talk about that.
I'm talking from my perspective. Yeah.
Oh, no, don't you tell on yourself.
I'm not about to say nothing.
Yeah, we can talk about me. Like my reputation on how to got to be good now. You can't be.
Yes.
You can't let nobody know you've been gone or whatever you did. But I'm so like y'all really go through too much, man. Y'all really do.
Yeah.
Having the babies, the menopause, the cycles,
dealing with men,
and now the hot flash. I mean, well, we have to deal with y'all too now.
Yeah, now I would say that's an even scoop there for both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. 'Cause I know we
Yeah,
can be a bit much too sometimes.
yeah.
We can,
But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
the other things we deal with, like it's a lot. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
things you just named. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes, not saying women, like we just got to be like, worship or nothing like that. But I think sometimes men forget the different levels in which we have to go through changes
The
with our
extent of
bodies and everything like that. I think sometimes they forget and be like, even when you hear some people like, oh, I mean, I do believe in keeping yourself up. Like you should never let yourself just go, but
right,
nobody usually stay the same size forever.
Right.
So when somebody said, oh, she ain't the same size she was back in when we was together 20
why
years
would
ago.
I be?
Well,
Yeah.
you probably ain't the same size either.
They not. Got that little
I
belly.
mean, even if you look the same size, even if you're
Right.
still slim, the tone,
Right.
like your muscles, you might have been more toned then. As you age, your muscles are not don't tone the same. It take a lot
Right.
more work. So when I hear people say, their significant other, whoever say that, I'm like, nobody's the same size from then. Even I could get in some of my, some tops and stuff like maybe from high school because I didn't fluctuate too much. But I'm still not the same. My body has changed, especially after giving birth and everything. And I have to work at it. You're not the same. You're not the same.
Right.
And some
Even if
men
you
think that.
appear the same, you're not the same.
Some men will there have been instances where the man will leave the woman because he feels like she's gained weight, she's not the same. But you're not thinking about the 3 kids she just popped out for you, how she has to nurture and take care of those kids, figure out how to get her body back intact, and the postpartum or the mental that goes along with having the baby and carrying the baby for 9 months. And now you telling me, oh, you leaving because I gained some weight. That's crazy.
Yeah. And when you go through menopause, you gain weight. It's like some
Yeah.
people actually gain. I mean, no matter what you do, workout is just something during that process. I don't
Your
understand.
hormones all over the
Yeah, your
place.
hormones all over the place. So it's kind of hard, and no doctors have pinpointed it yet why women fluctuate in their weight during that time frame. But it has something to do with the imbalance of your hormones during that time that cause you. Some people lose
Right.
weight, some people gain weight. It just all depends on the woman. But it does change your body tremendously. Like it does, and you have to work at it a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind you gaining a little weight, but we can't be the same size. Like we ain't gonna be wearing the same outfits. Like I ain't got
What you
time to
mean?
come home. You
So
got
she
my outfit
right.
on.
So she needs to
Oh no,
maintain her
no.
weight, but you don't
Huh?
maintain your weight. Like, make me understand.
No, I was a big man when you met me, player. I've been a big man for a minute, so
Mm, I'm not
Now
I
even
I
mean,
don't,
close.
I don't believe you
I
should
just
just
lost
let
50 pounds.
yourself go. I
I
don't.
just lost 50 pounds. So
I truly believe that as a woman, you should not let yourself go. Like, I know you have even with the kids. Somehow, some way, you have to try to find some kind of balance because keeping your physical and your mental health together comes with how you feel with keeping yourself up. And usually, if you're
right,
sluggish and you have yourself looking any kind of way, you're gonna feel how you look.
Right,
Just like how you ever been sick and you might been laying in the bed because you was hurting too bad and you had to be on bed rest. But as soon as you got up and they say you can get up that first day to take a shower, it just
yeah,
rejuvenates you. So it's
right,
oh
kind
yeah,
of like when keeping yourself up as a lady, or a man. Let me not just
right.
say
right,
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
men have to keep
yeah,
themselves
and yeah,
together too. 'Cause
and men too. When you keep
yeah,
yourself up, it just make you feel good. You have your downtime, but don't let your downtime stay your downtime because it
right,
does. It could affect your mental health, like how you see yourself, your confidence and things like that. So I mean, I'm not saying you got to be, if you was a size 5, then you still gonna be a size. You might be a 10 now, but 10 might look good on you, and you keeping
right.
yourself
That little
up,
weight.
keeping yourself looking nice and everything like that, looking fresh. And to me,
Even the
that's
plus size women, there's some plus size women that look really nice and keep
oh,
themselves up and
oh,
look great.
definitely.
oh yeah. I know some
I
sexy
have a
ass big
cousin that's
women.
like
I
that.
know,
Like, man,
yeah,
like she can rock anybody out of outfit, man, because I mean, she wears so classy, and
Right.
she always look good, and she always smell good. I be like, girl, I be asking, where you get that outfit from? She be like, honey, you know you don't wear
Right.
my size. I don't care if I don't wear your size.
I don't know where you got that from. Right.
I don't care. They might make it in my size, in a smaller size, but I like that
Right.
outfit, So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
like,
like a sexy big lady. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Long as she ain't trying to dress like she wear 140. I'm straight. Like dress your size, dress your appropriate size. Don't just be,
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean.
You trying to squoze
But
herself
yeah, I
into
know.
something she can't wear?
Yeah, like come on, man. That ain't. You know what I mean? If you know how to wear it, like I've been a big man for a long time, so I think I wear it pretty well. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
never want to be a big man that smell.
Oh, ooh.
Like,
That's
hey, like, no, hell
Yes.
no, like,
Oh.
no.
and that is not sexy at all.
Right, right,
Yeah, that's
right.
not. That's kind of what I remember right before I got married. Like, I got with my husband, but before I met my husband, was another guy tried to court me. And of course I was celibate, so I was kind of just now getting back into dating. And he was a very nice guy, like very attractive. But what turned and I don't have a problem with a thick, healthy guy.
Right.
Um, but the problem was I never forget when he wanted to take me out on a date.
Uh
he
oh.
he came, and I was dressed, ready to go on a date. And I was expecting him to at least have on you don't have to dress up, but I was expecting him to have on like at
Like
least
a nice shirt and
a button down. You have to
right.
be simple as a button down, colorful shirt. But he had on his t-shirt, but then it's like when we got, I was like, where are we going? And then when he said the sour smell, I was like, last date. That was the last date, and he was a very nice guy. But that was the last date for me.
Yeah, because
Like,
I don't. You're
you
not
have
gonna
to
that totally turns you off. You're never gonna be attracted because you're gonna always remember that funky sour
Yeah,
smell.
yeah.
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 And then every time I see you, I'm be like hesitant. Like, I don't know. It just, yeah, that turned me off. Like, it is totally turned.
Did you
Like
ever
my
tell
husband,
him? Did you tell him?
what you say?
Did you share that with him? Because I'm sure you wonder why
No,
it didn't go into
I didn't. What I did was I did not, and what I did was we didn't end up going on a date because I just felt like he wasn't dressed appropriate. I'm like, I don't care about dressing. He could have worn some jeans, tennis shoes, but I didn't like his shirt he had on. It just like he threw on a shirt.
Mhm.
And like I said,
No
he was a
effort.
very, very nice guy, very nice guy. Um, but that turned me off with the smell, and then the top he had on just turned me off. And so I never said anything to him about it. I just kind of avoided him and just kind of distanced myself and just pretty much wouldn't pick up his calls anymore. And then the lady who introduced him to me was, matter of fact, is I can't think of his name right now. It's his sister. She said real estate. He's a what's the guy name? I have to think of it. He used to be with Andre 3000, all that kind of group. Um, his sister said real estate, and I was buying my first home, and she introduced him to me because I was single. She knew I was single. She knew I was celibate. She was like, I have a friend, my husband's friend, blah blah blah. He's a very nice guy. He haven't dated. So that's how we end up meeting and going out. We went out. He came over one time, and then we was set up to go out. And that second
That
date
never
was.
happened.
Mhm. And I remember her asking me, like, what happened with you and
Did you
him?
tell her?
Yeah, I told her. I
And
told
she
her, but
told you?
I couldn't bring myself to tell him because he was so nice, and I just didn't feel, because I back then I had a problem. Well, I still probably got that problem a little bit. I don't got better at it, but I had a problem with saying what comes to my mind before thinking about it. Like before, like it'll come
Mm.
out before I even like
Before
my
you
head
think about it.
to
Yeah.
digest it, and it's already spoken. So I was afraid if I said anything, it would come out the wrong way, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I told her what it was, and she asked me, and I told her. I said, that was a big turnoff, and she was like, she tried to let me give him another chance. I said, no, because you can't fix hygiene. Like I
You
could tell you
can't
about
really
it.
read that first impression.
Yeah, but I could tell you about your hygiene, but that's something that you have to do yourself. Like somebody could tell you about it, you could correct it that time, but you're gonna eventually relax back into what's comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully, hopefully she told him what you said, and maybe he started paying closer. Not for him, you to give him another chance, but maybe he started paying closer attention to his hygiene, and he was like, okay, I missed out on her, so let me get this together. Let me get my stink together.
Yeah.
But as a grown motherfucker, I just feel like you should, especially if you know you finna go meet somebody. Hey man, jump in that shower, Pimp.
Jump in the shower.
Some people have a body odor that they don't even. Some people just have this. Because I remember I went out with this guy one time, right? And he was a nice guy too. He was real nice, and he would buy me things and perfumes and all kind of stuff. And I remember going to his house one time, and he didn't have cologne. And then he had this funny, it's like this. I can't. It's like that sour smell you talking about, and something else going on. And I said, you don't wear cologne? He said, no, I'm allergic to it. And then before I knew it, I said, well, are you allergic to soap?
That's funny.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Right. He's like, well, not perfume soap. I said, well,
you had to tell
him. I couldn't do it. Because his house smelled like him. I didn't even want to sit on the sofa.
And that might be what's going on to read he smell that way. Because when I tell you my husband, this man soaking smell good. He stays smelling good. Like guys, even at the gym, ask him, man, how you sweat and smell good?
That's important. That's really important.
Like him and my daughter, they probably soaking, like she's the same way. They'll probably stay fresh and soak more than me, but she's just like that because we raised her like that. One thing I always told her, like no matter what, don't ever go nowhere unless anybody ever smell you. Like that's just
right.
Like because they'll never forget that. Like they might talk, they're like, she pretty, but man, last time I smelled her. Or either girl, the females might even talk about her,
Oh
like,
yeah, they gonna look for that imperfection. They don't care what it is. They gonna find something wrong with you.
Yeah,
and you definitely don't want a guy to ever relay the message to somebody else that you think. Yeah,
she won't even leave the house. She won't leave the house. Like every morning, my baby girl, she get up, take a shower every morning. Like she do not leave the house without taking a shower. Like I taught about, you don't have to. You could wash up. She, Mama getting in the shower. I'm like, okay, whatever works for you. Whatever works.
Oh
yeah. Because some men think they don't smell, but let me tell you something. Men have hygiene problems too now.
Oh yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
You don't wipe that ass, it will tell on you.
Yeah.
And that throat. That mouth.
Yeah.
Bad breath and things, but that's bad. Come on.
Nah, butt, booty, all that.
Breath, underarms. In the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all saying these players ain't got their stuff together, man? They
not. We're not saying everybody because in that women.
No. I'm just saying.
What I would say is that a lot of time, not all men, but because I don't want nobody, I have to do this disclosure, Serina, because
right. Yeah, you just said that it's not everybody.
All men.
Hey,
no, I'm not.
I don't care what I say.
What I'm saying is that
that's on you.
Some men, they'll quickly say that women have odors, and they forget they have testicles and things like that. They have to be lifted and cleaned very well because they cannot smell too well.
And if you're not circumcised, you have to clean well
be
too.
Sure to
if he not what?
Wait a minute, what?
What the hell you been doing, Sean?
No, listen to what I'm saying because
Let me drink on that.
Okay. If a man's not circumcised, he has that extra foreskin, right?
I guess.
He has extra foreskin.
That's true.
They have to pull the foreskin back and clean it because not they have that dirt and stuff under that foreskin because it's bacteria. So they have to clean it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me say this: if we still have those out there, which we might do have some,
there are some. They're older.
Mm-hmm. If you walking around uncircumcised, I guarantee you when you have intercourse, it hurts because I knew a friend who got circumcised later in age because he was from the country. His parents, they was from down there. They didn't
I
know they
just
were
want to say that
open.
sometimes it's a cultural
So,
thing.
but my thing is, he's miserable if he's not. Sexually, he's miserable because
I never heard that before. I've never heard any man say. I never heard. Okay, I'm not happy. I'm miserable. It's like, well, I didn't get it done. This is what I got going on. But I just know that
he
you have to make sure you
maybe
keep
it's
it
just
clean.
him, but he said for a minute he wasn't having a lot of sex because he said, of course, when he is erected, the skin have to pull back, and it can easily pull back when you're at a softer
Erected.
state. Yeah, but when you're erected, you're stretching that skin, and you have to, it still have to go over. That's how he explained it to me. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But
Mm.
yes, I mean maybe it's just him, but yeah.
Look at
And
Black.
they say it's painful when you get it done
They say
as a
you
At a
grown up.
later
yeah,
age,
you
yes,
probably
They
it
leave
is.
that
they
alone.
they
That's a process. A baby can heal quicker from that trauma than a grown
right,
man over a certain
right.
age. So yeah,
Where he healed from it, just like any surgery, you can heal from it, but just a longer
took
process.
him a
But
little longer. Yeah, it took him a
it'll just take a
longer
little
time to
longer
heal.
to heal, but you could definitely heal from it.
Yeah, they would have had to put me to sleep or something. Like, nigga,
Yeah, it
I'm
is. They
scared to feel
would.
some.
They
Yeah,
would put
they
you to
damn
sleep.
sure would. Oh,
It
Yes,
I
it
seems
would.
more traumatizing as an adult though to have that done. No, I'm
What
thinking.
so
you
what?
say?
I think it'd be more traumatizing as an adult to have that surgery, to have that procedure.
Yeah, but if you ain't getting on, and that's the reason, pimp, you better goddamn
Yeah,
No,
get
you
it
I,
done.
it don't stop a man from getting any. I'm just saying when you like that, you have to make sure that you're more clean because it
yeah, because
if you're not clean, you're not clean under that skin. When you're intimate with someone and you have that bacteria thing that you can transfer to the woman,
but
so
it
you
can
have
also cause them to have problems too, because
yeah.
not just that, them having sex, it's just like something being covered, and you have to like, it's just like a part of like how we have to do as women when we wipe ourselves and take a shower. They literally have to pull that skin back and clean within that, because if
Mm-hmm.
not, bacteria
That's
build
what I'm
up. So
talking about. Yeah,
to me, it's
exactly.
a lot of work in itself. I'll just do the surgery and take 2 or 3 weeks to heal and be okay than to be pulling back and cleaning and all that extra stuff to make sure you're not developing any yeast and all that stuff behind that foreskin or whatever. Yeah, I just get surgery if I was a guy.
Maybe
It
we
just
help
stop
somebody today
slip.
that might need to know that. Somebody might be
Yeah,
listening.
Let me just
I'm gonna
slip
thank
it.
my mama for getting mine done. Cause boy, hell no, I can't
Say
imagine.
thank you,
You know what
mom.
I mean? Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
yeah,
imagine that. Then I done heard some women talk about it, and that it don't be a good conversation. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like I said, I
yeah,
heard it's real painful when you're grown and you get it done. So
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
that definitely have to put me to sleep.
I will hope
yeah.
you be safe.
I'm gonna smoke myself. I know I'm gonna smoke like a motherfucker till I go to sleep. So something
Exactly.
like,
You're gonna smoke
boy,
yourself to sleep.
I think it's
yeah.
important to get it done though, you know, for the cleanliness. I just think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
I
And
don't
that
know. I think because there like you have to remember like back in the days they didn't always do that. So they had to manage how they had to manage. So I think that if you focus on keeping it clean, I guess you can manage because everybody, didn't have that luxury back in the day. They didn't, a lot of
Yeah,
people
but they
didn't
got the
have that.
luxury now. So just get
Yeah.
it done. Like, I mean, just go through the
If you're
process.
your if you're your 55 and 60 years old, I don't think they apt to go have that done because it's like what's the point? Not saying they're not still
Yeah.
intimate. I'm just saying at this age I've been dealing with for so long. So what's the person me even going and trying to have that done now? Like
Well,
I don't
hopefully you've been dealing with a woman that's okay with it, but because the average
Yeah.
woman is there at times see something like that, like, no. Like, no, even if they say they haven't been circumcised, someone be like, I know I would, I probably would because I know what it looked like without me. I probably like, No, because
I mean, I've seen it before. I've seen it before,
I
and
have
like,
too.
okay,
I
this
have
is
too.
different. I was like, this is different.
I mean, it looked like an elephant trunk, like with with.
but I'm
just saying.
Hell no.
But I will say this because I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be in defense of the people that haven't had it done. I will say this: I've seen it before. After I've seen it the other way, and I'll say, okay, this is different. Like, okay, so how does that even work? So, you have that conversation. We'll get into that stuff too. You have the conversation with the person, say, okay, well, and then I'm not trying to be graphic, but like at the time that they get the erection, it looks like any other regular person. It's just when they don't have an erection, the skin is over it. That's it.
Yeah, but so you got to pull that skin back though. That skin don't just fold back on its own.
What do you mean? To clean it?
They have to help themselves to fold that skin back. It just don't always.
You mean to clean it when they're cleaning it, or
I'm saying sexually.
Oh, I didn't experience that. I didn't have that experience.
I mean, I'm just going on what was told. I'm just going on what was told to me when
once they got the erection, it was good. Wasn't no skin pulling back because it came back on its own. Because you gotta, yeah.
Well, I mean, I understand that some people may not have had that done, but also I can't imagine, like, I would have to know someone who can actually say that it did not change their sex life, because the person that I know that had that issue, it was a problem for him. He told me, he was like, it was a back in the day, but way before I got married. He said that was a problem for him. That's why he went on, and he was in his late 20s when he had it done. That's why he went on and got it done, because it was a problem, like with the cleanliness, the chappedness of it all. It was a lot going on. And
it's chapped. I knew you chapped.
That's what he said.
I was just going to say that. God
that's
damn.
What he said. That's what he said. I don't know. That's what he said, but I'm just saying. That's what he said.
Because everybody had different experiences, so maybe
that's why I said everybody's experience is different. We just happened to get on that subject, and that's what he was. Kind of like you're with a group of people, like female and male, and then everybody start, and that's when he is, revealed that he was in his late 20s when he had it done, because his parents. Everybody knew his parents was much older. He was the only child, and his parents was much older when they had him, and he was from the country, and so they just didn't do it. But he didn't know any different as he got old and became a grown man.
He got here, and and somebody probably said something too in a derogatory way that really made him like, let me get this taken care of. Somebody probably hurt his feelings.
And he said he was having complication with the foreskin. That's what he explained to us. So he went to a doctor to see, So like you said, yes, you do have to clean it, but it's a lot behind that. Like you know what I'm saying? So I think it just depends on the person. And I just know if I was a man, I want to cut off.
Surgery.
That's why I say I don't know. I can't say because I'm not a dude. That's a sensitive.
I have a surgery if I was a dude. I'm telling you, if I was a guy, I'd be like, okay, I just deal with 3 weeks of pain, however long it take. Get this skin off here.
Especially if it get chapped. Like, what the hell can you?
You need Vaseline chapstick.
Right.
Let me stop. That's not nice. That's not nice. So I guess this leads us into our conversation about, we're going to talk about our conversation tonight is based around having conversations with your partner, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever your situation is, having a conversation about intimacy, right? I mean, sex, like how, being honest and letting your partner know what you want and how you want, so it won't be an issue. Well, there won't be any issues later on where you're not getting what you want and they're not getting what they want because you didn't sit down and have a conversation about what you like, what you don't like, what you want, and what you don't want. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Why are you looking like that, Black?
No, I'm waiting on you to get it all out.
I'll just say this when it comes to what you said we're going to talk about. a lot of that just come with being comfortable and with your partner and
Right.
communicating. Like,
Right.
you know, at some point you guys haven't reached that comfort zone in the bedroom where you
Well,
can feel.
I don't think I don't think it's always about the comfort level with the partner. Part of it has to do with how you were raised, what you were taught, what you allow someone condition you to, as far as if you nobody really talked to you about your body and how to understand and own your body, to figure out what you like and don't like, what you want and don't want. Or you have, you know, like sometimes women, and I guess me, I don't know, women will say, oh, I had an orgasm. They'll tell the guy, oh, I had an orgasm. Well, you really hadn't had an orgasm, but you're just telling him that to make him feel good. But then you're left not feeling good because you can't have that conversation with him. And it might not be because the person you're with won't allow you to have it, or they don't want to have it. Sometimes it's something within us where we feel like, well, if I say something, they might feel like this, or, you know, or they might take it the wrong way. When it should just be honest conversation all the way around about, you know, your sex, you know, what you want in the bed, how you want it, what you expect, what stimulates you, you know, all that should be a conversation, without you feeling like, without a person feeling like if I say something to my partner, they'll get upset or get mad about it, or they won't receive it the right way.
Yeah, but
So, and
I still think it still come back to, and I hear what you say. Yes, it does go back to how you're brought up, but at some point, you got to tap into something different. Like I always say, like you got to know your own body. You have to feel comfortable with your body, and at some point in your life, you got to be willing to make sure you're taken care of, whether that's sexually, um, you know, any kind of way. And till you reach that point, of course, you're going to feel uncomfortable with telling that person, because if you're that intimate with that person, y'all should have reached the level where, hey, I'm not gonna keep having sex with you and then I'm not feeling good and I'm keep lying behind it. Like at some point you have to reach and come up with a consensus that you can deliver the message to them that's not hurtful, but you get it across. Or you can come up, you might not even have to deliver a message. You can just say, let's try something, let's try this, baby. Or, you know, come up with some techniques and to deliver it where you're not really, if you don't feel comfortable just outright telling the person, you come up with some other little tricks of the trade that you can try with them. And I'm just not to be graphic, but if you
mhm,
know you need to be rubbed on a little bit more, grab the hand and put it down. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like,
what it need to
right,
you
be.
right,
sometimes
Right.
you have to guide your partner, because
right.
think about it, even the most open person, even if like I'm very vocal, even the most open person, when you get into that part of the relationship, it can be a little vulnerable for each party.
Yeah.
And even if you never tell a person what feels right and what doesn't feel right for you, because remember, people are going by their experiences sexually, maybe with somebody else, or just their
Hmm.
experience first time.
And what they
So
heard or
they
what
might
they
try,
seen.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they might try with you licking in your ear, and you be like, I don't like no spit in my ear.
Right. I'm
No
sick of
licking.
tongue in my ear.
So you have to tell them that, and if they don't know that, you just gonna sit there and let them keep licking in your ear. You
But
know
see,
Right.
that's a
but
turn
see,
on.
I hear what you're saying, but I still, okay. For example, growing up, I heard, oh, sex is nasty. I'm like, so in my mind, that's how I processed it. Like it, like you shouldn't, women shouldn't, or you shouldn't touch yourself to make yourself feel good. Like you shouldn't, and that I processed that for years and years and years, and that's how I was thinking. And like it took me a long time to figure out, okay, because if I did something
Get
like
that.
that, I felt like I was doing something wrong because I
You
still
were
had that.
so you were trying to figure out when can you really masturbate, because you wanted to
Or,
masturbate. That's
or, or if I should, because now in my ear is like, oh, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Or and even like you say with women, I know we should be adult enough to have those conversations with our partner and say, hey, this is what I like and don't like. But for some women, some men, it does, it never comes. It never comes because some of them feel like that's what I deserve, or some of them feel like, well, they'll continue to feel like, well, I shouldn't say anything, or I can't say anything, or
but
how
what
to
do
have
you,
a
but see,
conversation.
that's the part where you have to See, because I'm not saying we don't have childhood things that we're brought up, but sometimes we have to learn. It goes back. I'm gonna keep saying this. You got to know what you want, and you got to evolve past that. Because there's a lot of stuff I was brought up. You don't do this. You don't do that. But I had to evolve past that and make a realization. Like, okay, I know I was taught this, but what works for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I was taught this, but what works for me? And then through my own experiences, I realized, oh, they must have been basing it on their experience or what they're, because a lot of times they told you a lot of things back in the day because they didn't want females, not necessarily males, but females having sex before marriage. So the first thing they say, don't have sex because it's nasty, when you ain't married and all this. So those were the tactics in which they used to prevent us from being, promiscuous, even though guys are promiscuous too. So I think those were tactics that was used. And yes, some of us did not get past those and it did settle in our brain. But and I'm going back to, if you don't evolve and find a way to communicate to your partner,
you're not going to get what you want
it's
either
never
way.
going to happen. It's still going to boil down to communicating with your partner and feeling comfortable and find a way to get that through to your partner, because you can't keep saying, oh, because when I was younger, they told me this. Okay, so when you going to feel good in the bed then?
Right.
People don't
And
know
then
what they
you also want a partner that allows you, that goes to the woman and the man, that allows you to be free enough to say, hey, can we have this conversation about our intimacy and, about what you like and what you don't like, what you want and don't want? Can we have an open dialogue? Some people shut that out. They don't allow you to have it. And I think sometimes in marriages, it's not as easy to walk away from a marriage as opposed to dating someone and say, you know what, I'm not giving I want. I'm out of here.
Yeah, but
you
you
should already
should have
have
that. Yeah, you should have that.
But
Yeah,
you
you
should
got to have that
already.
conversation
Let me
before you
tell
got
you,
married.
I'm gonna be married.
It's
I'm
easy
gonna
to
be
say,
married.
but I'm saying it's easy to say you should, but I'm saying there are a lot of people in marriages and relationships right now that's not getting it and don't
Yeah, but that's it.
it.
But Serena, I'm telling you, it's because they never had the conversation starting out. Like I tell people, I'm gonna be married 20 years come June 1st.
Before the marriage, you mean?
Yeah, for
They
the
should have.
marriage. Yeah. And
Right.
so what I'm saying, it didn't start. See, people want to blame everything on marriage, but majority of the time it started before they got married. Because
No, I'm not saying it started before marriage. I'm saying they went into the marriage with the same habits they had
the
before
same habit.
they got married. And
Right, that's what I'm saying. People are who they are, but like as men, we don't nobody tell us how to have sex. Hey, nigga, you got a rubber. Oh, all right, then that's it. You know what I mean? So men have to learn on their own.
Yeah.
And if you don't tell that man what you like, he just gonna do what he know how to do.
What he know how to do, his experience.
But
you might have
go
to
both ways, because I've heard men say, "Oh, I had a woman, she just laid out like a wet fish, and she won't do nothing. She won't even try."
Yeah,
so
but a lot of
ways.
men also don't know how to get their woman stimulated.
Exactly.
They don't, because some of them don't know. Some women, it's some women start mentally. And if a woman tell you, okay, I'm stimulated mentally before I get aroused physically, then you got to figure out how to mentally stimulate that woman. And then what happens is some men and women say, oh, yeah, I can do that, knowing you can't really do that, but you don't want to lose that person. So you lie and say, I can do it.
Right. But as I'm telling you, as a young man, as a boy or whatever, we don't have those conversations. Like ain't nobody, men ain't finna sit around and talk about, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, this is how you do this. We don't do that.
Right.
So
right.
A lot of men they don't know what foreplay is. Yes. They just know how to go jump in your ass like a rabbit, hump you 4-5 times, and he catch it, he gone.
That's it. You're done.
Know that if you get the woman stimulated, pimp, she'll do anything you want her to do. Mm-hmm. But you got to know that, because we not taught that. You got to experiment and stimulate. Right, that's what I'm saying. And every woman is different.
Every woman,
you know what I mean?
Different.
Every woman different. Yeah. So,
but the woman and the man, like I guess because for us as women, I wouldn't necessarily say it does not take as much for a man. I'm not saying that, but I know for women it takes a little bit more because our our stimulation is more internal. Like it takes a little bit more to stimulate us. So that's why I said it's important for that woman, like whether you dating before you get in a marriage, to talk about those things, like, like have an open conversation. Because to me, if it get to the point where she's laying there or he's laying there, y'all haven't communicated what get y'all aroused sexually. Kind of like I was telling Black them one time, we had a show, Serena. I was telling them, me and my husband, we play date. Like we like he'll call me and be like, hey, he'll act like he my boyfriend, and I act like I'm his girlfriend. See, that right there is stimulation. You see what I'm saying?
It is.
And we'll play this role right there, and then I can't wait till he get home, because we're already doing things to arouse each other, and that's just like him taking me out on a date and him acting like I'm his girlfriend, and we meet for the first time. What's your name? All this. So, but you have to communicate that with your partner.
Oh, yeah.
Like even with
make sure you're getting what you want too. And if they're not willing to give it to you, you don't just say, well, okay, he don't want to do it or she don't want to do it. You just accept it. It's like, no, this is my body, my life. This is what I want. This is what I need. You don't get to tell me what I can and can't have. And I'm not saying go home and buck up at your man or your woman or your husband or wife. I'm just saying just figure out how to have those. Just figure out how to have those conversations so you and her are both getting what you want, and not be scared to say what you need.
But as some grown people, man, I don't see why it's so hard to have a conversation. And then
because
you don't never have that conversation.
It is
because it is hard. Go ahead, Serena. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Communication is like one of the top issues in relationships. Not being able to communicate.
If I can't communicate with you, I just ain't gonna deal with you. Like I ain't dealing with nobody I can't even talk to.
Talking is not always
I'm saying whatever. Talking, communicating. If I can't do it with you, I damn sure ain't gonna. Like I'm not finna get myself in a situation that I can't just up and leave if I know I'm not happy. And I damn sure ain't gonna marry you while I'm unhappy. Like, nah, hell no. I'm not gonna hope it's gonna get better. I don't do that.
Right, the set's gonna turn up by the time we get married. It's gonna get up. We're gonna go to the end. No, you're gonna keep probably get less.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm gonna know what I'm dealing with before I get married. I don't see too many people that's unhappily married. You know what I mean? That don't make sense to me. And then you'll stay there just because you're comfortable. Okay, well you wasting all your good years now, and you ain't happy. And like I can't waste my years like that. You know what I mean? Exactly. I can't do it. You know what I mean?
I just think it just still come down to communicating your desires to each other. I mean, like when I met my husband, like even with us, I had to tell him, oh no, I'm used to kissing in the ear thing. I'm like, oh no, I don't like no kissing in the ear. Like that don't turn me on. That don't do nothing for me. So I had to communicate that to him because he would not have known. And it's certain things he desired that I would not have known if he had not communicated it to me. So it still boiled down to being comfortable. And if you never find a place where you're comfortable with talking to your partner in that extent, and y'all, as far as to me, sex is a grown-up thing. And if you can't be honest of how this is making you feel or not making you feel, then you shouldn't really be having it. I'm just being honest. You really shouldn't. Because at some point, you have to get comfortable with your own body and being able to communicate that with your partner. If they get mad, they get mad. But at the end of the day, you have to that to them. You have told them. Because like I say, people don't know what they don't know. They're going to keep doing the same thing if they don't know. But also in communicating it, we also got to be clear. What type of sexual partner do you have? Like people don't even ask that. Like, are you very active? Do you enjoy sex a lot? Are you, some people like have sex a lot. Are you a type of person that have a lower sex drive? It's not that you don't enjoy it.
You have any issues in the bed?
It might just take you a minute. So I think it just don't start with just that. Like it's so many things that surrounding, like you said, the issues in the bed. Like some men are embarrassed to say, "Hey, sometimes I just don't get stimulated." Not because it's you. It's a men go through hormones too.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
hormonal thing. Matter
yeah.
of fact,
And
Steve
that's
Harvey.
another conversation that should be had too. That's another conversation that should be had because sometimes men don't disclose that to the woman initially because he got other things going on to help him get in erection, and later on down the line once they're together, he's like, well, you got a cabinet full of stuff. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? Well, I have an issue with erection. You could have had this conversation with me before. That's like not being honest, you bait me in.
Yes, I think you should be honest because if we get to the level where we're being sexually active, we should be able to express ourselves. Like the first time, of course, like even me and my husband, we first went because I was celibate for a year and a half, and then finally when we found it, of course,
The phone froze. It's froze.
me. Okay. So the first time sometimes is like a trial and error with everything. You have
Yes,
that first
exactly.
time. That's trial and
Exactly.
error. You trying to get to see what each other like, what make each other rouse. By the third or fourth time, you should be able to express, hey, even if you don't, like I said, even if you don't feel comfortable telling them straight out in just a sit down conversation, you could do it in the process of guiding them, you take control of the situation as a woman, or as a man, you take control of the situation.
And
Right.
don't wait till you get mad either.
Yeah, no
Like
way. Yeah,
that's when most people talk when they get
and
mad.
be like, that thing went no
And
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
and everybody be defensive then, so you ain't gonna get
right.
men
Yeah, you gonna vote
communicating.
this man all the way down to the white meat. You don't broke
Yeah,
him all
Oh
the way
so
yeah,
down to the
yeah,
white
because
that's
man.
why.
y'all vicious, y'all vicious when y'all want to be.
Yeah, so that's
I've
why
never
I
Y'all
done
said,
a
can be
man like
very
that. I've
vicious.
never done that before.
see, I ain't
I
never
might have
done
thought
that.
something, but I've never said that to a man before because I didn't want him to walk away and feel defeated or broken at any point when he go to the
Right.
next person. You know what I'm saying? But that right there, I swear I've never said done it to
Well,
a
let
man
me
before.
tell you something about me. I never have had intercourse with someone where I'm gonna not do it and just do it and be in the rhythm. Like I can't do that. Like I have to tell you what works for me. Like that's
Right.
just how I
Right.
have always been. So I always had a good, sex life. So I just can't go. I know some people do. I do understand that. Some people go with emotion. But to me, that's such an intimate process. To go through the motion is almost like robbing yourself. Like who want to get that close and intimate with someone and not at some point tell them? And I know it's hard. That is a hard conversation because, like you said, Serena, some people get very offensive when it comes to telling, it's not like I'm putting you down. I'm telling you what my desires are, what
Right.
makes
Right.
me feel good. Now I
Right.
need you to tell. And see, I think sometimes when we do that, we might need to ask our partner too. You'd be like, okay, baby, this is what rocks me. If you do this right here, this get me going. Da da da. Now, after you do that, ask them. So tell me what I need to do
Right.
better to help you.
Right. Don't be
See,
selfish.
sometimes we don't do that. We just one side. Well, honey, you got to do this because see, this right here is what needed for me. But then you stop right there, and now you don't shut your
Right.
partner down, and you
Yeah.
never ask them because you could
What
not
they
be
want.
doing. You might not be doing it either, doing it rocking him right either. So
Right. You're
you
right. You
think
think you're doing, but he like,
you
no,
think you're
I
doing
need
it, and
this,
you
this,
think
this.
you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I don't
So you need
It's about, yeah.
after you express what your desires are and what makes you get the things or climb at to the way you want to climb at. I think it's important if you care about that person. Now, if it's
Right.
just a
If you
shoot
care,
through
you're gonna ask them about
situation,
what they want,
yeah,
what their needs are, and what they want, and
yeah,
you're
you
gonna
should,
give them what you're gonna give them just like they're willing to give you what you want and what you need in the bed and
yes.
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
And then you got to be reasonable because it goes back to what I just said. You got to know what type of sexual partner you have. This might not be one of the ones you might be with her, but she might not be a wild off the wall, the kitchen and all this stuff. She might be more of a conservative person, still
Yeah.
would get you going, and she's just conservative. She's not into all that, or he's not into all that. So you have to know what type of partner you have. If you have one of them wild partners, like, oh, I like to get on the washing machine, you know, and then you might be like washing machine, you know, that's what I'm saying. So you have to get to know.
You guys are not compatible, so don't even put yourself in that.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to find out first what their sexual desires or what they like. Because if they like that and you know you're not into that, you would never be able to please them, because that's going to turn you off sexually, because that's just not something you want to do. And I think we skipped that part of it. We skipped the conversation altogether and jump into bed.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you need to have a hard conversation, because like I said, before I got married, that was part of the counseling process. We talked about, I mean, they talked about everything. Sex, do they like porn, all this stuff. And it is helpful, because now you find out, oh, my partner might get off, they have to watch porn every time to start, you know. Yeah. So you really have to find out what your partner's desire. Somebody always need a toy in the bed, or somebody might, you got to dress up all the time. So you have to find out about that partner and see if y'all even compatible in that area. And I think we skip over that process. You know,
everybody's selfish. Everybody worry about self. They don't worry about pleasing nobody. They just worry about self. So then, like I tell a lot of women, stop stressing your man out. He won't be having a lot of the problems that they have, because they had to get on them blood pressure pills and them diabetic pills. You know what I mean? Hey, man,
diabetic ain't got nothing to do with stress, and diabetes have something to do with your eating habits, or even hereditary too.
I'm talking about, but all them pills that you know. Well, make sure you feeding your man the right food. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can eat that keep him right. Trust me, I'm 51. I don't have no problems. I ain't on nobody medicine or nothing. And hey, man, I'm good. And it ain't that special I'm doing. I don't need no blue pills, no none of that. I know how to take care of me, and I know how to eat right, and you know what I mean. I'm good, man. That's why I don't stress. I don't stress about shit.
I think we got away from the natural things that people used to do. And because I know when this whole, I guess this Viagra, is it called Viagra or something like that? Viagra. When all that stuff came out, and men start taking it, you start finding out they take that, and then stimulate you, but over time, it causes you to be.
You're gonna have to have it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to have it.
You can't get erection without it.
Yeah, you can't get your natural erection, and if you find other ways to, I mean, because who wants somebody going for a whole hour just hard out? I mean, there might be some women out there, but I'm just saying.
No, they talk that shit. There ain't no women out there trying to fuck no hours straight.
Around with erection all day, every day. There ain't nobody got time for that. I gotta go to work.
I knew a homeboy that.
Some women gotta go to work.
Right, you walk around with a poke, you poking in your pants, and you're like, what the hell?
Man, I knew a homeboy. His girl worked at the clinic that give out the shots, and she done brought some home and done gave him a shot.
Yeah, he got scared. A Viagra shot.
No, I'm saying this was before Viagra. They used to shoot it in the you know, in your dick or whatever. And she gave him one, and I guess she gave him too much or something. It scared him. Because he was like, they had been doing it for about he said about 4 hours, but I know it wasn't really 4 hours. And then it still didn't go down. It didn't go down until he was on his way to the doctor.
Oh my gosh.
And it literally scared him. I'm like, boy.
There are a lot of Viagra stories like that as well.
Crap, boy. Yeah, they say half of the pill off the pill. Don't take the whole pill.
Oh,
that is
I haven't had that experience.
Yeah, hey, me, you know, I hear the stories. I just be like,
I guess some people have to do they gotta do what they gotta do, though. I guess, you know.
Yeah. But see, once you start, you ain't gonna be able to stop now.
Yeah, that's what I was
once you get in your system, your body gonna rely on it. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Your body can get addicted to anything.
It's
not a recreational thing. Like you can't take it just sometimes.
No, I'm saying if you do it all the time, your body, you're gonna have to have it eventually.
It's like over medicating, just like over medicating.
Dangerous.
overtime.
Yeah,
Because people have had heart attacks taking Viagra and going to the hospital.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they was getting pills from everywhere. They wasn't going to the doctor.
Yeah, you don't
They
know
were
what the
getting
hell
out
you're
here on the
taking.
streets and
You're taking a damn Advil thinking it's a Viagra.
You take one and it still don't work, you be mad.
Right, like,
Hold on, goddamn, I done took the blue pill. This
damn
one was still in.
Advil.
Hey man, and it's simple, man. Don't let nobody stress you out and get off that medication, man. I'm telling you, that's
And a lot of a lot of it has to do with people, men that take high blood pressure medicine, because that medication is
right.
another
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
direction too.
Yes.
Quit letting people stress you out when you got high blood pressure. That you
No,
can get off it. You can get off
ain't
of it.
stressed out, Black. Some
No, I'm saying,
some
but
people have it's hereditary. That's just like
yeah, I'm saying, now if it's
my dad is
hereditary, you can't do nothing about it. I'm just saying,
my
like,
dad is a very small man, and he has to take diabetes medicine. But my grandmother, like my dad is small. He's not a big man. You know, most people think you big taking.
They think if you're small, you're in great shape.
Yeah,
being small and shape are two different things.
His is classified as more hereditary. Even though he eat right, he does good. It just still is more hereditary.
Yeah,
I'm saying some things you can't help. You know what I mean? If it's hereditary, okay, I can understand that. But a lot of it comes from stress.
Well, some men on testosterone levels are lower too.
Yes,
they're lower.
Right.
That's something that they don't always have control over. It just happens over here time with age. Like we talking about the high flashes with us, and what we go through. Sometimes the testosterone levels are lower, and they don't get an erection like they used to.
But take vitamins. If you taking vitamins and you eating right, you like it's like soy. A lot of people teriyaki. They got a vitamin for that too.
Oh, they got vitamins for everything.
Yeah, they do. But I'm saying like a lot of people eat teriyaki. Mm-hmm. Okay, it got soy in it. Soy is not good for us. It gives us a lot of it helps goddamn give us more estrogen, and it take down your testosterone. And see, people don't know that. You got to read. You got to once you get grown, you got to read. Like a lot of stuff that I know about me and men, I read up on it. I don't just take it.
A lot of processed food, I'm thinking would have something to do with it.
Yeah, a lot of processed food. Yeah.
I think you eat more green and live food.
It have something to do with the process because look how big the kids are now.
Yeah.
No, we used to be little. These kids are
but we were active too. We went
outside and played too. We went outside and played. We didn't have cell phones. And we went outside and played till the light came on. We went in the house, ate dinner, took a bath, went to bed, and played. And we had PE at school too. We went outside and played it.
Right.
Yeah. But it does have something to do with the food, with the steroids in it. Because think about mad cow disease. If you eat some meat from a cow that had mad cow disease, you can develop those same symptoms, the ticking, and eventually die. There's no cure for it. So I do believe
I have mad nigga disease.
Huh?
So I have mad nigga disease.
Yeah. You'll be doing that. It's called mad cow disease.
How the hell you know a cow had mad cow disease? Was he frowning all the time or something?
I don't know what it is, but what they did is kind of like.
I remember them talking about mad cow disease.
Yeah, it's a real disease. It's something that's in cows, and that's why when they find that in certain cows, they go ahead and dispose them where they should. You know how they go. But I really do think it has like a lot of our hormones and a lot of the stuff that we're experiencing with this cancer. I do believe it's in the foods that we're eating.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And it's causing all this dysfunctioning within the body. I really do believe that. So, with being stimulated for a man, all that come into play. Like I do agree with you, Black, what you said, too much stress, being overstimulated stress-wise can cause that issue too. I do agree with that. But then, like Serina said, the hormones in men too can also affect that. So the combination of both can make it worse.
And you think it too. It's just like if you're a man and you're out here dealing with all the stresses, you're dealing with all the stresses in the world, and you gotta make sure home's taken care of, make sure you're taking care of the family. and then you get
Right.
home, and then you got hell at home and hell in the streets.
Right.
You're not like you
No,
want to. You're not like you feel like having sex because now you don't.
nah,
There's no erection. There's none of that about to be going on.
not with a bunch of nagging and a lot of drama in the house. Like, no, like I
And you got to just
can't do
treat
it.
it
I stay
work.
by
Yeah.
myself before I do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's too much, and I refuse to go through hell and die. Like if I can't enjoy myself with you, hey man, I'm cool being by myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stress.
My peace mean more to me than somebody getting on my damn nerve. And I don't give a damn how I feel about you. I can love you from a
So
distance.
let me
Yeah.
ask y'all a question. What do y'all think would be like if you're nervous about having this conversation with your partner? What do you guys think would be like an opener, or a way to introduce this conversation, to your partner? But how would you
Hey,
want? How would
Sharon,
you
we
come?
need to talk. It's simple for me. Hey, Sharon, we need to talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a little straightforward. Like I'm
Yeah,
just a straightforward person. So
yeah.
we're gonna just talk about it. Like I'm gonna say, hey babe, we need to talk, or I'm gonna guide you through our sexual desires. Like
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna guide you, and when you put
Okay.
your hand down, I'm gonna kind of guide your hand to where I want it to be. Like I'm
Right.
gonna do
You down to
something to
just
let you
rubbing,
know.
start a damn fire. You don't
Yeah,
know. You just missing everything. You good. You
yeah,
doing too
yeah.
much. You hurting me. You need to let me help you. Let me help
Serena,
you. Yeah.
you don't
But
have
I
a bad
think
experience to sound like
But
that.
Serena, I think to even have that conversation, you got to be like, because I'm comfortable with myself, and
Yeah.
Right,
I
right,
want, if I'm gonna engage like that, I want to feel good in the process. I'm just
Right.
gonna be laying
So
there.
we're just wasting
So
time.
so you
And for
you
me,
got to be comfortable to have that conversation, whether, like I said, either guide them in the process while you in the process, or you just got to be open enough and ready to talk about it. Even if they get upset, at least they are aware. They can't say, well, and
right.
then when you start
I didn't
complaining
know.
about it now, see, when you
Right.
start complaining, they be like, well, I ain't even know. You can't complain
You
to
knew because I
to
told you.
somebody
Yeah.
about something that you never even told them about.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So you're
So,
gonna
so
have
for
to.
me, for me, I would. Now, when we were talking earlier, I was that person that wouldn't speak up back in the day. That was me. And then I was like, shoot, I'm just here and I'm not getting what I want. He all smiling and stuff, and I'm, acting like no, no, no. I got frustrated. I said, fuck this and fuck that. I ain't doing that. No. Let's talk. Let's
So
listen.
you waited until you got mad when Black said you don't do.
Yeah, you can't
I got
have a
mad with
conversation when you're
myself.
wrong.
I didn't get mad with him. I got mad with me because I was like, no, sir, you're
Nah,
gonna open your mouth and say something.
you
You're
were
gonna
mad because
talk.
he was sitting there smiling, and you,
Exactly.
hell, you
It
smiling back.
Right.
it started with his smile.
You
It
he
started
like,
with
you good. You like, you good? No, I ain't good. No, I'm not good. No, I'm not. No.
That's
So that's when
funny.
but I did get upset with myself for not opening my mouth sooner because I had
Yeah,
those things playing in my head. And like you said, you do come to that point where you say, you know what, let me say something so I can get what I want. If they can't give it or they don't want to, then I can move on from that. From that point on, I decide, like you said, to have those conversations, to figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what I want, if I can get it from you or not, because I didn't want to just be intimate and not be satisfied. Like you said, what was the purpose?
Mm-hmm.
What was the
Exactly.
purpose?
Yes. Yeah. I
like
mean,
I went through a stretch of about 3 to 4 years where every woman I met had never came or had an orgasm. They was like,
well, what
Oh,
that
that's
mean?
a lot. That's a lot. That's a
I
lot of
don't
That,
women's
know,
yeah.
support.
I'll be like,
I
no,
don't
And
that's
you
know.
know what?
not your life.
Some women have a good partner, but it's other reason why they don't have the orgasm. It might be some mental
Right,
stuff. They don't.
right, yeah,
Maybe they don't know what they haven't found or figure out what their spot is. They can't tell the person what the spot. It's just a lot of different reasons why women don't get orgasm. Well, and through the man coming first and just leaving her hanging. That's another one too. So it's a combination of other
Yeah.
stuff.
But
yeah. But
she
you got
had
to
to
speak
know
up.
her body, and I wouldn't
Right.
necessarily blame it on the man right off. I wouldn't write off. I would actually, look within myself first to say, hey, do I even know what I desire? Like,
Yeah,
what do
that's
I?
what I
Yeah, a
said.
lot
She
of
didn't
You
know.
might not
She
even
didn't
know what
know.
you desire.
She didn't know
Like,
her
right.
spots and what she needs to do,
yeah,
and that's where you come into saying it's okay. Like you said earlier, it's okay for a woman or a man to touch yourself because nobody's gonna figure your body out but you. So you have to know how to masturbate and what it, figure out where your spots are. Now I can relate it to you. So now if I don't know, I can't tell you. Then we both just trying to guess it. We guessing at this point.
mm-hmm.
So you're right. You gotta be able to figure your own body out, and it's nothing wrong with it.
You have to, and you
Right.
got to communicate. I think when like I always say, when I hear people say, well, they didn't do this right, I'm like, well, did you communicate that to them? Well, they should have
Right.
known. No, they should
No,
have
they should
known.
have
No,
known.
no,
Like,
no.
nobody can read your mind. You really have to
Right.
communicate your desires to a person so they would know. And if you never did that and gave them the opportunity to correct it, how can you be mad at that person? Like, how can
Right.
you? You
Right.
got to let them
You be
know.
mad at yourself.
And like I said, once again, it has to be within reason, because if y'all, like you said, Serena, if y'all so totally opposite in the sex area, y'all should know that at the beginning, not 5 years down the road. Y'all should
Right.
already know that. Like, at some point, you have to have that conversation, because that is part of the relationship. That's part of, I'm not going to say it's number one in it, but it is a part of the growth of the relationship. And I will say this, being married as long as I have, different things change. It don't always be the same as you go through
That's true.
hormonal change. Okay, that don't work no more. You got to do this now. You know,
Right.
but you
Well, I
have to
might not
know.
feel like for a few days because I got some other stuff going on. So
Yeah. So, but
right.
you have to know your body, and like, oh, that used to work when I was younger. That don't work. But you as a person have to know what works for your body, and you already
Mm-hmm.
know, oh, that used to work, that don't work no more. Oh, but oh yeah, right, that worked now. Now it's something different, because you go through different, you go through different changes in your body, and it switches up.
Right.
So now you got to figure out, okay, it was okay, what's going on? Because no, I'm like, that will get me. Okay, now you
That
got to
ain't
figure
it
out
now.
what it is. Now,
Mm-hmm.
once you figure it out, now you can relate
Then
that
you
to your
relate
partner.
to him
Because
or
I
her.
think so many times we put it on our partner, whether it's male or female, to give us that desire, and you can't even tell them what it is that stimulates you.
Right.
Like,
Right.
if you can't even express what stimulates you, how they supposed to figure out? Because it's gonna be
Right.
Right.
trial and error with them. But if you already know, you can skip all the different trial and errors and explain it 1 through 10. Now you can go 1 to 2, and y'all there. But if you don't even know, now your partner got to go 1 through 10 to figure out what stimulates you, because you can't even tell
Like a
them
science
what it
experiment.
is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you know what stimulates you and what the change has been made, now they can skip 1 through 10. They can go 1, 2. You be like, okay, that, oh, now they don't. Okay, oh, okay, I got you. Now we on 2. We ain't even got to go on 3 and 10. We stop at 2 now,
And also
because
too,
we
I
know
feel that
that.
if you're having this conversation, they're showing them they're trying, they're willing to try, they're trying. Give them some room to for trial and error,
Yeah.
and they're showing up and they're trying for you.
Yeah. And practice make perfect. Like, so
It does.
like I tell women all the time, we don't know everything. We might act like we do, but we don't know everything. So sometimes it's gonna take more than one time to get something done. So
Mm-hmm.
especially the exact way you like it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, you might be the one person that didn't like what I did. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
But you're gonna
Everybody
get
else,
with
it might have
five
been
other
cool with it,
girls.
but yeah,
They're like,
you
ooh,
the one person that I got to do something different. So
Right.
yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, that's true.
But yeah, you got to be vocal though, because I know I am. I'm like, I ain't scared to tell nobody what I like.
And then
Like,
another
and,
thing, I think, I don't heard people comparing, um, like, oh, when I was with so and so, he used to
oh
hit it good and
no,
all that.
That's
To me,
nah,
I think I have a problem with that, because I'm like, well, why you still with him?
why you still with
right.
so and so?
That's
Right.
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 Because
That's
Right.
right.
obviously he wasn't doing, because to me, I guess for me, um to me, the sexual part or the loving part of that is like a bonus. But see, you got to feed me before then. Like I like to eat before then, like all the not winding down like going out, but I'm talking about like the courting, the lead up to it before the actual, like you said,
that's part of the
Right.
stimulation
before
too.
before
Right.
like
That's
you
like
said,
foreplay.
before the physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do understand some women don't want all that. They want to go straight to the
Go right to it.
bullseye,
Mm-hmm.
But it goes to show you have to know your partner. And comparing is not going to get it. You have to, because all penises are not made the same, just like all vaginas are not made the same. They might look the same and have the same
No,
organs.
they don't look
Not
the
the
same.
same. They're not the same.
They don't
They're
even look the
definitely
same.
not the same.
Nah.
The similar structure. They have a similar structure, right?
Structure and everything, but they're not the
Yeah,
same.
they got the same outline, but they look different.
They're not the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
You
And
know
They
better
ain't
than
the
us.
same size. They ain't the same
they're
nothing.
not the same.
Nah.
So that's why you have to find and it was something Black mentioned too when me and him just had a sidebar. And I just want to bring this up too with women. It does affect like having kids too. Like for me, it didn't do that for me. It did not do that for me. Like, honey, I like a virgin again for me. But some women having
Stretched
multiple
out.
kids, having multiple kids or having larger babies, does affect that too. And sometimes it's no matter what the man does or try to do. Sometimes it's something that you might need to go get medically
Taken
sewn
care
up,
of. Yeah.
tighten up, the muscles stretch, something might need to be done, and your
They
partner
say
could be doing
don't
everything.
Them
don't
Kegels, what they call
vinegar
the
don't
Kegels,
vinegar
Kegels, Kegels.
draw
What's
it
it
up or
called?
something.
What you say?
What's it called? What's the exercise called? Kegels.
Yeah, the
Kegels.
Kegel
Yeah,
squeezing.
that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
but you know what, Serena? For some women,
That don't
that
work for
don't
some
always
everybody.
work. Sometimes it's a medical thing where you actually
Yeah.
literally, like
You've
one
been
of my
stretched out
girlfriends,
too
she
far.
actually had to have
Right.
surgery to get tightened up because her babies was like 9
Yeah.
and 10 pound babies,
Yeah.
So sometimes it's medically, and no matter what your partner do, that
Wait,
desire is
this one right here.
what Black say.
Hey, man.
I don't know what he got
Nah,
going on.
I just be listening, man. Like I told you, I'll go through too much. You know what I
You
mean?
learning some new stuff.
Yeah,
Women get
I don't have no
stressed out.
problem with it.
Men say that, oh, she too big, she too whatever. No, if she's had
She
multiple
ain't got no
kids,
walls.
everybody don't go back
We
in.
said she ain't got no walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody don't go back into place. It's not because she has, and it's not always because she had multiple partners, different sizes. That's not always it. It just it could be her body didn't snap back in that area, so
Yes.
she might need a little.
Because
You just say
remember that's a muscle. That is a muscle down
Right.
there. And muscles
Right.
can be stretched, overstretched, and have to be sewn back. Just like for example, like when a woman give birth, some women's stomach just don't snap back no matter what they do. And then you'll find out they'll go get something done. They'll be like, I didn't know you had them abs like that. You do, but it's other things under there like that. It might not
Right.
necessarily be a big stomach. It could be a flat stomach, but the skin from
That's
being
skin.
stretched.
That's when we have a C-section.
Yeah, from being stretched. So it's the same thing with the vaginal area. Remember, we dilate. The muscle dilates, and everything opens up for a baby to come through. So sometimes it could be something medically that we as women don't even realize ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Until you go to the doctor and really express that to your doctor, because some women don't even go and tell their doctor. They just go get their checkup, long as ain't nothing wrong.
Right, they don't say nothing.
Yeah, they might not even. They might be thinking it's their partner, and actually,
it's them. Or they're embarrassed, and they kind of know they're just embarrassed to even have that conversation with the gynecologist, because some women have issues and though you're going to the gynecologist, then that's what he or she is there for. Some women are still embarrassed to have those conversations, and even men are embarrassed to tell their doctors that they have erectile issues. Yeah, they won't tell them. So if he don't know, how he gonna help you?
Yeah.
Bless,
And I
bless
think
their
the
heart.
problem, I think sometimes the biggest problem with that is that, and I'll say this once again, I do think sex is important in a relationship, but I think people place that on the number one list because I hear people
It
say
should,
all the
yeah.
time. I hear
Yeah,
people say
but
all the time, "Oh, that's my number one." If they na na na, and my thing
But
is
when you
like
get older and you
yeah,
marry,
but
you older, and some people ain't had sex in 15 years, but they still
they
going strong.
still like the most loving couple. Like they be saying, we are in love. So my thing is like you got to be careful what you placing at the top of your list. Not even necessarily getting older and have a problem. You could be younger and have an accident,
Yeah,
and it
I've seen
caused
yeah,
that.
things
I've
to
seen that.
it caused things to misfunction. So are you telling me because of that you no longer have that desire for me? We can't do other things. That's why it's good to talk to your partner because you can have orgasm and all this other stuff without even truly doing the true stimulation
Penetration.
yeah,
Yeah.
penetration before that. If you can do that, oh, you bad, and we bad over here.
You're a bad mother. You
I'm
are.
just saying.
And she ain't going nowhere.
I'm just saying.
You are.
Like you got to find other ways, and you got to be open to that with your partner because things happen, situations change, and you just have to be open. You got to find that comfortable area where you could talk. To me, if you can't talk to your partner about something like sex, which is very intimate in a relationship, I think
Mm-hmm.
y'all really have a problem. I'm just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
honest. I really do.
oh yeah.
I think y'all have a problem. Y'all haven't connected the way y'all needed to. Because me and my husband, we talk. We talk,
And
you know.
I know I've run into an issue where a man will see your toy and he'll think, oh, well, why you got that? I'm not enough. It ain't about you. That ain't even about you. That's between me and that toy right there. And it's not because you're not enough. It's like sometimes I might need what I need. You might not be around or whatever
Hmm.
the issue. Don't make that about you. But some men, how insecure is when they see that a woman has a you know
Yeah,
her toys.
just don't get too used to it, or let your body get too used to it, and now the man can't do
Yeah,
nothing for you.
I
You
would
know what I
I would
mean?
Hold on one
definitely
second.
say that. I would have to agree with Black on that one. Like you can't overstimulate yourself because
Right.
doing that could just like a man overstimulating himself, ejaculate. If doing that could cause that desire to take longer to reach that desire with your partner. I mean,
No, I'm
that's
not
for a
saying
man
too
and
often. I'm saying they
that's
shouldn't
for a
have an
male and
issue
female.
if they yeah if you see it and it's there. It's not like it's taking your place. It's like
No,
it's just
I'm
there.
gonna tell you to grab that motherfucker. Let me see what you do with it. Let me see if you know what you're doing.
I see Sharonda said the V steam. Yeah, I heard people
Yeah.
say the V steam is really good. And the V steam probably does work really well, but if you have um a medical issue, the V steam ain't gonna tighten you up. You're gonna have to have surgery to actually tighten that area up. The
Mm-hmm.
V
Right.
steam can only do so much, just like the Kegel balls. They can only do so much to tighten that. Um, but if it's overstretched, just like a woman who have a baby and their stomach might protrude out, and it could be because their abdominal walls have been stretched and they have to
Yeah,
actually literally have
yeah.
surgery to tighten up the abdominal wall in order for their stomach to go back in. Not saying like, I'm talking about like it's been stretched from having a baby, and no matter what you do, it protrudes out like you're pregnant, and you have to literally have surgery and they have to tighten up those abdominal walls. So it's the
It's just
same.
like a woman that has a C-section. Once
Yes,
you have they cut that. Once they cut you, that muscle
abdominal.
is never gonna go right back in place because that muscle is separated now. There's
Yeah.
some things you can do to kind of flatten it out, but it's never gonna go back in place. You will have to have some type of surgery to get that muscle back right.
Yes, you have to get a tightening. So I
Yeah.
do know the V sting can help some women, but if you have a severe stretching from having a baby, you will have to do some medical procedure in order for that to
Microwave.
tighten up the way you want it to.
Well, my homeboy wife is Dr. Julianne Burt. She was on the Frank Ski Morning Show, I think about 2 days ago, and that's what she do. What is it called, Sharon? The vagina what?
It's called vagina restructure.
Yeah,
restructuring or something like reconstruction. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, yeah. And
And
they go in and tighten up that
I actually
muscle.
supposed to be interviewing her one day, and I just
Who?
Dr.
Who we talking?
Julianne Burke.
Okay.
I'm saying that's what she do. And
Oh.
she was actually on this Frank Ski Morning Show the other day.
Okay.
And matter of fact, I go get a little clip of that's on her husband page, and because I
There was
told her I
someone
want her to come on here and talk
did
about
that.
it. Huh?
Yeah,
There
it was
was
somebody.
someone on the Real Housewives of Atlanta that had that procedure done.
Yes, they
Oh, yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They surely did.
And
Somebody
see,
did have.
we just say she got too
It was
many miles
I
on her.
think Cynthia had it done.
I think it was Cynthia too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, you know, man, she'll tell a man he too small, he can't do nothing with her, and we say she got too many miles on her, and like you ain't got no balls. And
that is terrible.
yeah.
That's bad. If you don't get to that point, that's
Hey,
ain't no
man,
coming
I'm
back
telling
from that
you.
though.
But it
Nah,
goes back
that's
to
why I
those,
say you
it
can't have
goes
the
back,
conversation when you're mad because anything come out.
but it goes back to those myths that we hear, like her walls, and it probably is because due to her having kids or something like that. And then it's just like even with like a man having a vasectomy, you know, people like, oh, it ain't gonna work the same. That's because they're not knowledgeable in that area, because it definitely worked the same. You know, it doesn't change anything. It just stopped them from being able to produce kids. It does not affect that. So I think when we say things like that because we've been told or myths have been going around, and we just have not educated ourselves in certain areas.
Yeah,
So
didn't they say vinegar or something, draw it back up or something? I think that's what we used to hear back in the day, vinegar or something. It was something that they said, draw it back up or something. If you take a vinegar bath or some shit.
yes,
that's kind of like the Cajuns and these things. That's about as far as that's gonna go. It's
I
too far
mean,
gone. You have to
like,
search. That ain't go.
I'm
That's
so
not
glad. I'm so glad I'm not a woman.
see, that's what we
y'all
be,
have to
that's
deal
the
with
thing.
too much.
That's the thing we be saying, Black. Like it's a lot. Like you have to, as a, you know, of course, we try not to complain about it because we can't change that we're a woman, but you do go through a lot of physical and things with your body that most time we try not like getting, you know, getting cysts on your ovaries, getting what's the other one?
And you bleeding for 28 days.
And fibroids and all those things like that.
Days.
Yeah, getting fibroids and things like that men don't understand that your body go through. And most of the time you try not to complain about it and still push through. But women bodies
it's a lot. It's a lot of pain. My sister was in the hospital for about 3 days. She had to have blood transfusion because it was so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Have she ever thought about
she got a partial hit. She had to get a partial hysterectomy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, I about to say, has she ever thought about doing something like that? Because then she won't have to worry about it at all. I see your man walking by, honey. She ready to get out.
Right. He got her cracking up too.
She over here stimulated. Her boot on walk by. She like, yeah.
Either that or he done told her, hey, y'all, it's time to get up all there, y'all.
No, I was like, hey, I'm on live. Like, can you go sit over there? Like, he just tip me through the screen. That's why I kept laughing.
He damn sure creeping now. He damn sure creeping.
Yeah, they acting like he in church.
Yeah,
right.
I'm just gonna say that. Well, look, Miss Queen, I know you probably got to go. We done gave an hour and a half. I know you said you had to get to bed.
Yeah. I gotta get up in the morning. I be getting up at 5.
Yeah, man. Hey, we're gonna do this every Wednesday, man, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It was great talking to you guys again.
Hey, man, I love these conversations. Most men can't handle these conversations. I just let y'all go. I like to hear about this shit because, like I say, y'all go through a whole lot, man. Y'all really do.
Y'all
know
need
what I
to
mean?
y'all men need to start understanding that. It ain't just the day to day, it's the
I mean, but y'all gotta take it easy on us. If y'all raise hell all the time, we ain't gonna be studying that shit. I'm telling you. So if you start raising hell all the
It's
time,
the
we can deal with
hormones.
that.
It's
Yeah, I
the
mean that's
hormones.
yeah, that's what we hear all the
yeah,
time. You need
we got
to
a
turn
lot,
them
we got a lot
hormones
going
down a little
on.
bit. Then if you can cut them down just a little bit, so we can deal with it. We can't deal with all that hair raising. And then you want some sympathy too? Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
You
we
can't
do,
get both
you're
of them.
right. Like
No,
I'm a
you
cuss
can't
your
get
butt
both
out.
of them.
Look,
I'm a
you
cuss
raise.
your butt out, you to pet me. Right,
Yeah,
So you
right,
nah,
going
hell
in
no.
in one breath and crying in the next and won't
Right,
sympathy.
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
and she's psycho.
We yeah, that's what we think. Like, what the hell wrong with you? Like, man,
Bipolar.
go on with that shit.
Right.
Go on with that
I'm
shit.
happy and sad at the same damn time. That's
Yeah.
what's wrong.
Hey man, I'll put you in the corner. Hey, go on in that corner. Hey, you come out the
Time
corner
out.
when you calm down. Yeah,
Yeah, stick your head
shit.
in the refrigerator, in the freezer, cool off.
Hey
Yes.
man.
Yes.
But look,
All
man,
All
I
right.
appreciate y'all, man, and we'll be back next Wednesday,
All right, we'll talk to you
9:00.
next time.
All
Great
right,
seeing
baby.
you,
Y'all
Miss
take it easy.
Queen. Bye,
Bye
y'all.
bye, Serina.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Y'all know my phrase. Y'all be easy.
Be easy. Bye.